Okay, so now we're going to add rational expressions. The most important thing that you need to remember about this is that you have to have a common denominator. Notice how your denominator stays the same and you add your numerators together. So you have to have a common denominator to add fractions. Alright, the first thing that you want to do whenever you look at a problem like this and you see that you are adding is you want to take a look at the denominators and ask yourself, do they match? In this case, they do match, so you add your numerators together. Now, whenever you add those numerators together, what you want to do is you want to look at your like terms. We have like terms here and here. So you need to add just those terms together. This doesn't have anything to add with it, so you just write it down. Negative 10x and a positive 2x become a negative 8x. This doesn't have anything to add with it, so you just rewrite it over x minus 5. Now you might be thinking that you're done. Well, you're not. So you need to factor now the numerator, and the numerator factors to be x minus 3 and x minus 5 over x minus 5. And remember, you are allowed to mark out factors that are the same, and so this matches this exactly. So what we're left now in the numerator is x minus 3. So that's our final answer. Alright, so take a look at this problem now. We don't have a common denominator anymore. So you might want to ask yourself, what did 12 and 8 have in common? What's the smallest number that both of them will go into? And that is 24. Now, look at your x's. So, I can't turn x to the third into something smaller, but I can turn this into something bigger. So our x term needs to be x to the third power. Alright, so now you need to ask yourself, what is this thing, 7 over 12x, what do I need to multiply it by to get it to be 24x to the third in the denominator? And so if you came up with 2x squared, you did pretty good. But don't forget, you also have to multiply the numerator by the same number. So that is a version of 1. Multiplying something by 1 does not change its value at all. So my new numerator becomes 2x squared times 7, which is 14x squared. And my denominator is 24x cubed. Now, look at the fraction on the right. What can we multiply it by? I need it to be 24x to the third power in the denominator. So I need to multiply by 3 over 3. And so what do I get whenever I multiply those? 5 times 3 is, whoops, go back. 5 times 3 is 15. Now, do we have any like terms in the numerator to add together? No, we do not. So we just rewrite this. 14x, oops, that's a squared, 14x squared plus 15 over 24x cubed. And that's it. We are done. We cannot simplify this thing any further. Sometimes our textbook goes about things the long way, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I think it's harder to teach that way. Alright, so this problem right here, I'm going to rewrite it real quick. I'm not changing anything, I'm not moving anything around. I am simply rewriting it so that I have some space on either side of it. Okay, so now the very first thing that you want to do is you want to factor the denominators. So you've got 2 times x minus 2 here. I didn't change anything. I just factored the denominator. Alright, so now you need to ask yourself, what is our common denominator? And the fraction on the left has a 2 and an x minus 2. The fraction on the right has an x minus 2 and an x plus 2. So ask yourself, what are the factors that they all need to have in order for them to be the same? And that is, we need at least one of every single different type of factor, unless one of them has 2 of the same thing. We'll talk about that later. But so what we need is one of every single different type of factor. So that would be 2, that would be x minus 2, and x plus 2. There's our common denominator right there. Alright, so now ask yourself, what is the fraction on the left missing? It is missing x plus 2 over x plus 2. The one on the right, it is missing 2 over 2. So now, with the numerators, you do want to distribute. So I'm going to get x squared plus 2x, and on the right, I'm going to get minus 8. So now, I don't really have any like terms that I can combine, so I'm just going to rewrite it. X squared plus 2x minus 8 over 2 times x minus 2, x plus 2. Now, for the sake of running out of space, I'm going to factor the numerator right above it. So this thing factors to be x plus 4, x minus 2. So check this out. I could mark out some like factors here. That's it. So now I've got x plus 4. This is what I'm left with. X plus 4 in the numerator. I'm left with 2 and x plus 2 in the denominator. There you go. You're done. Alright, so that's it for this lesson. If you need any help, let me know.